G'day adventure travellers, and welcome back to Two Wheels to Everywhere. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Auckland, so I've perched myself up on the back deck here, and today we're going to talk about tools that I'm taking on the ride and spares and consumables. So without further ado, let's get into it. On the left here we've got the tools that I'm taking, and on the right we've got spares and consumables. Now I've had some feedback saying that 50 kilos is a lot of luggage to be taking on the back of a motorcycle, and I completely agree. I've justified the 50 kgs by the fact that part of that is the weight of the luggage itself. The panniers are 5 kgs combined, and the duffel bag itself is 1 or 2 kgs. Nonetheless, it's still a lot of weight, so I've stripped a few things out, and those things are in the box here, and we'll get to those at the end. For those of you that know Pavlin of the YouTube channel Motorcycle Adventures, he recently completed a 3-month trip across Russia, and he took 15 kilos with him. Now my trip's 18 months. Does that justify 3 times the amount of luggage? Probably not. So I know some of you are experienced adventure motorcyclists, so please give me as much feedback as you can, and I can refine my packing list from there. The other 2 parts of the packing list are clothes and personal items and the tech. I think the majority of the weight is actually going to be made up in the tech. The laptop alone is 3.6 kilos, and that's a small one, but we'll address that in future videos. And once again, for those of you who are experienced adventure motorcyclists, please give me your feedback and give me your thoughts, and that'll help me get the final packing list together before I go. I've put everything together with the general rule that it must have a specific use. There's a couple of general tools and general bits and pieces in here, but on the whole, there's a specific use for every tool and every spare part. Okay, let's go through the tools first. So here's a ruler, that's for chain tightness. Here's the pressure gauge, it's a mechanical pressure gauge. I've gone for mechanical items as opposed to electronic items. That's just a personal preference. They may be a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, but to me you don't have to charge them, and I think they'll be more reliable. So that's the gauge. I've got a mechanical pump here as well. Both the gauge and the pump are the same gauges, and the pumps used by Andy and Elisa of Mad or Nomad, so I've copied them there a bit. In fact, I used their tool list as a template. Siphon tube, jumper cables, fuel, fuel filter, in case I get into any parts with dodgy fuel where you've got to buy it by the bottle. I've got some rim guards so for when changing the tyres. They're pretty light. Are they necessary? I don't know. You let me know. Oops. I've got some straps for strapping the bike down if I need to go on a ferry or something like that. They look pretty small and flimsy. I don't know. What do you guys think? And the tool roll. Okay, let's go through the tool roll. So the tool roll is a Rhino Walk. Just bought it off AliExpress. It was cheap and cheerful. On the side of the tool roll where it's supposed to attach onto the bike, because I'm going to be chucking this in my panniers, I've used that to put the longer tools that don't fit in the tool roll. So here I've got the bead breaker set for tyre changes. They also double as tyre irons. So I've got my 3rd tyre iron there, and that's also a 19-inch spanner. That's for the, that's 24 mil inch. That's a 24 mil spanner. That's for the rear wheel, taking off the rear wheel. Here we've got the 19 mil for the front. I've included a 17 mil just because there's a 17 mil. I'm not exactly sure what the 17 mil is for, but it's in the standard toolkit and adjustable, just in case. So those are the longer tools. Hey presto, and with the magic of video editing, they're all back on the, oh that needs a bit of CRC. They're all back on the side of the tool roll. Okay, let's open up the tool roll. Here, and I'll show you what's inside. So I've got all the spanners. I've got an 8mm, a 10mm, a 12, a 13, 14, and I've got a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a small flathead screwdriver there. I've got a spoke tightening tool there, some long nose pliers, a pencil, and a brush for cleaning bits and pieces. In the little pocket here, I've got a spark plug socket for changing the spark plugs. I've got 2 micro screwdrivers here, Phillips and flathead. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Allen keys that all have a specific use. I have got a valve stem remover, an extra sump plug. The one on the bike is magnetic, that's the original one. I've got a spark plug gap measure, not sure if I'm going to need that, and I've got my fuses. So that is the tool roll in its entirety. I'm not taking any standard size pliers, so give me some feedback on that. Do you think I need some standard pliers, or I mean, I've got the needle nose tires, which are probably a bit more versatile. But let me know what you think about taking some pliers. They're a fair bit of weight. They're probably, I don't know, 300 or 400 grams. So probably going to skip those. The spares and parts that I'm going to be showing you are hopefully going to get me through the first 3/4 of the ride. So from Australia all the way through to Europe. Once I'm in Europe, stuff should be a little bit easier to get hold of, but I'm not banking on being able to get oil filters or brake pads or anything like that over the first, say, 12 or 15 months of the ride. Some of you might think that I'm taking too many air filters or oil filters or something like that. That's okay. Let me know. I know some people like to change their oil filters more than others. I'll be trying to string out the oil filters and the air filters as much as possible. So anyway, just give me your feedback. That'll be great. So let's go. Okay, in no particular order, 3 sets of spark plugs. I'm going to be taking a tyre repair kit. Okay, pretty obvious. Some zip ties, small black ones, long white ones. That's a general item. Another general item is some JB weld. I have a 21-inch heavy-duty tube. Clutch cable and clutch lever. Okay, some riders are quite adamant to take other clutch parts when they're going on long rides. I don't know that much about clutches, so I'm assuming that they mean the clutch plates themselves or the other parts that wear out in a clutch. Tell me what you guys think. 18 months is a long time. Am I going to get 18 months out of the clutch? I'm not going to be doing heavy off-roading, just dirt roads and that sort of thing. I'm not going to be going over logs or single tracks or really thrashing the bike. But let me know. Let me know if you think that I need some more clutch bits apart from the lever and spare clutch cable. I've got a couple of air filters. I'm going to get those oiled up before I go, so they'll just be able to be thrown straight on when they're needed. I am taking 3 sets of brake pads. One reader told me that the rears generally wear out faster than the fronts, but anyway, these just need to get me through the first 15 months or so, so hopefully that will do the trick. What have I got here? Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oil filters. Hopefully that's enough. I've got 2 headlight bulbs and a load of indicator bulbs. Got some Permalock as well. It's just a general item. Some gloves. Keep my hands clean. Don't know if I'll actually need those. A couple of other general items is electrical tape and Gorilla Tape, which is super strong gaffer tape. It's good to have. I copied that off Andy and Elisa. I'm taking some fork seals just in case I need to change the fork oil or the fork seals conk out. Let me know if you think it's worthwhile taking those. Just a can of Do It All WD-40. Now some Scott oil. As I said in the last video, I'm not sure if it was a good idea putting the Scott oiler on or not. Some people swear by them, other people think they're a waste of time. I haven't even left and I'm sort of leaning towards the latter. It's just another extra thing. I mean, I guess you can put general chain oil in the Scott oil, but they want you to buy their stuff, and that's just about it. Okay, the last spare part that I'm taking with me is something that I'd like your feedback on. Now, I know when your chain and sprockets wear out, you're supposed to change them together. The current chain and sprockets on the bike are pretty good, and so I don't really want to put a new chain and sprockets on when the other ones are, still got plenty of Ks on them. So my current thinking is, I've got this chain here and I've got the sprocket set from the local Suzuki dealer to go with it. So my current thinking is ride from Sydney to Perth, and then whether or not they're completely worn out is put the new chain and sprocket set on in Perth. The bits that I was initially going to take here in the box that I've decided not to take, okay, a brake lever. Apparently they don't, unless you fall off and snap it, they don't break as often as clutch levers. The original toolkit, everything that's in here is in the tools that I've already shown you. The rear tube, we all know that the front tube can substitute for a rear tube until you get where you need to go and you're able to get a proper size tube and a chain breaker. I've never even used one of these before, and hopefully I'm not going to need it as long as the chain and sprockets are put on well in Perth. They've done a professional job, then hopefully they will get me all the way to Europe, and then I can put a new chain and sprocket set on there. So tell me if you think I should be taking a chain breaker with me, whether I should be taking a rear tube, or what else do you think I should be taking with me? As I said, I've never done a big long trip like this before. I've only spoken to people and researched on the internet. So let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Wait, one more thing just before you go. A lot of riders use those Leatherman tools. I've never owned one. They look pretty cool. They look like they can do a lot of things, but they're pretty pricey, and I don't really see the need of buying one if I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for. Once again, going back to Andy from Mad or Nomad, he's got one in his toolkit and he reckons they're a good bit of kit. What about you guys? Do you use them? I know there's like Swiss Army knives, there's various versions, some with whiz-bang, all sorts of things, and then there's smaller versions. If any of you use the Leatherman and you recommend it, let me know in the comments. Can you tell me what you use it for and why I should invest in one, and that'll be much appreciated. Anyway, as you were, see you next time. Cheers.